Key point 1. All relationships are unique. Every human being craves belonging, whether to family, friends, or a spouse. When humans become attached to someone, their influence on each other regulates their natural state. Humans must form close bonds with others to feel secure and safe. Relationship problems can be excruciating. They encompass the innermost core of people's lives. You may suffer from constant tension and emotional issues if your partner cannot meet your basic needs. Of course, there's no universal solution or explanation for all relationship problems. All people are individuals and their bonds are equally unique. But understanding attachment types will help you minimize conflicts and misunderstandings. Attachment types are our way of loving, how we show love, perceive it, and respond to intimacy in a relationship. Psychologists distinguish between 3 types: secure, anxious, and avoidant. People with anxious attachment type tend to be overly concerned about their relationship and unreasonably doubt whether their partners love them. Those who have an avoidant type of attachment are afraid of intimacy. These people are terrified of being betrayed, hurt, and vulnerable to someone they trust and open up to. Therefore, such people prefer to be closed and detached. These people spend a lot of time alone, and it's challenging to bring them to frankness. A secure type of attachment is what you should strive for to maintain a healthy and happy relationship. It's an ideal balance between caring enough and not worrying too much. A couple can achieve this through mutual respect, patience, and a willingness to work on their traumas. If you want to enhance the quality of your relationships and look forward to a lifetime of secure love, follow this summary to the end to learn more. Key point 2. Your upbringing dictates attachment styles. People with different attachment styles show variances in the way they see intimacy and togetherness, how they deal with conflicts, how they feel about sex, how they express their feelings and desires, and their expectations from their partner. All of the above usually depends on how your parents expressed their feelings when you were a child. We unconsciously adopt our perception of life from our parents or guardians, who are our first guides in feelings, emotions, and sensations. To provide you with a secure attachment, your parents should have been considerate, responsible, and open to you. Suppose your parents gave you a sense of calm, security, and confidence in childhood. In that case, in adulthood, you will easily trust people, make firm friends, and love without fear of vulnerability. Feeling close and complete with someone else. The emotional equivalent of finding a home. Amir Levine. An anxious type of attachment arises in a person whose parents were unreasonably changeable in mood, unpredictable, and inconsistent in their reactions. These types of parents always keep their child emotionally charged, so it's hard for them to trust their partner and relax in adulthood. Avoidant attachment is typical for those whose parents were emotionally unavailable. They paid little attention to their child and did not express their feelings but only provided for their physical needs. That's why these adults are more likely to remain aloof. But this doesn't mean you can't change your attachment style over time. To rewire your brain into thinking in a new way, you need to have positive experiences with partners, friends, and family members. As Jean-Paul Sartre wrote, "I am not what was made of me. I am what I made of what was made of me." The way you were treated as a child hugely affects your life. You learn how to love, feel, and react from your parents. Did you know? The dependency paradox states that the closer you are to your partner, the more independent you can become. It means you know you have someone close to you if you ever need support or help. Key point 3. Heal your partner's wounds with love and patience. A complete change in attachment type is one of many options. Sometimes it's better to understand your current attachment style, work out the harmful elements twist them into something positive and learn to get the most out of your situation. For instance, someone with an anxious attachment style can learn to be more at ease when away from their partner. That doesn't mean they'll instantly be comfortable with it and have no issues from that point onward. It means they're making baby steps toward changing a harmful habit. Whether a person can entirely change their attachment style is debatable. However, you can identify your partner's attachment style and be more understanding. Then, you can express feelings for them in a love language they understand, not take their actions personally, give your partner a sense of security and peace, and love them the way they need. To find out what type of attachment style your partner has, be attentive and sensitive to their words, actions, and reactions. Track what hurts and what comforts and inspires your partner. Question them and ask them to answer as frankly and comprehensively as possible. Ask your partner, what are you afraid of in our relationship? What causes your sadness, resentment, and irritation? What were your relationships with your parents like? Were you close to them as a child? What emotions do you experience when we don't communicate for a long time? How do you feel when we spend a lot of time together? How much distance between partners is comfortable for you? Be kind and patient with your partner. Determine their type of attachment and interact with your loved one according to their needs. In such a way, you will give them self-confidence, security, and the strength to make everything they want come true. Perhaps that is the most valuable gift someone could ever receive. People become invulnerable when they feel loved and accepted unconditionally. Indeed, good relationships work wonders and heal wounds. Did you know? Psychologists advise using this trick. You and your partner should write down 20 things that make each of you feel loved. Swap these lists and work through them step by step when one of you feels unvalued in the relationship. Key point 4. Tips for surviving when you're anxious. It's wonderful to help others, but you must take care of yourself first. The best way to do this is to surround yourself with good, kind, and loving people. In a wholesome and friendly environment, we all flourish. If you have attachment issues, you must be careful in choosing a partner. A relationship with someone inappropriate for your attachment type may exacerbate your traumas. For example, it would be detrimental for an anxious person to interact with an avoidant partner. Their approach will likely provoke a recurrence of your issues. You'll fear changes in their mood and have bad reactions when they move away. At the same time, a partner with an avoidant attachment will try to stay away in response to your attempts to get closer. It's important to remember that their actions don't express a personal attitude toward you, but their habit of interacting with the world. Here's what can happen between anxious and avoidant partners. You are very sensitive to rejection, and they send mixed signals that you often interpret as rejection. You often find reading verbal and nonverbal cues challenging during communication, and they don't think it's their responsibility to do so. They create distance between you when you need them the most. It would be beneficial for anxious people to work on their patience. Train yourself to pause before jumping to judgment, getting offended, or panicking. Take a deep breath, exercise, and shift the focus. Remind yourself that your interpretation of your partner's actions and words may be biased. So it's crucial to launch a dialogue, and the main thing here is to make communication effective. Effective communication is inoffensive. It does not put your partner on the spot, but allows them to be open with you without feeling attacked, criticized, or blamed. When we formulate and express our fears and doubts, they lose much of their power. Instead of accumulating negative feelings in your mind, open up to your partner. Express your needs not in the form of reproach or accusation, but in the form of a request. Remember that you and your partner are on the same side and are solving your joint problem. Key point 5. Conquer avoidance to experience the happiness of trust. Avoidant people unconsciously hold on to every inch of their freedom and independence. Without realizing it, they act destructively. Their coldness, detachment, and inattention hurt their soulmates. Here are some popular strategies that suppress the attachment system. Acting or thinking, "I'm not ready to commit." Focusing on minute imperfections in your partner. Flirting with others without caring about your partner's thoughts. Not saying, "I love you," often. And avoiding physical closeness. Why do people with an avoidant type of attachment act like this? They do because they have no experience in intimate relationships where a partner considers their emotional needs. They are afraid of attachment due to their core belief that, in the end, it will bring them disappointment and pain. Therefore, avoidant people push their partners away and sometimes even offend them. Doubtless, it is unfair and cruel, but we should understand that these people are using the only interaction tools available in their arsenal so far. At the core of avoidance is the fear of being rejected by a loved one again. A relationship with an avoidant person can be like a parent interacting with an infant who cannot speak and express feelings or needs. Both sides need to do a lot of work to understand each other. Use intuition, be patient, and be guided by love. With an avoidant type of attachment, you barely read your partner's emotions and do not express your feelings, causing a lot of misunderstandings and an eternal sense of understatement. Likely, you will unconsciously try to use petty quarrels to end your relationship. Despite the sympathy, love, and joy of interaction, conditional agreements and obligations always seem like constraints to you. To overcome avoidance, you must move consistently in small steps. When you meet a reliable partner, try the following. Track what leads to quarrels and what thoughts push you to these actions. Analyze your destructive impulses. You will begin learning how to control them once you identify them. Try to express your concerns, doubts, and fears to allow your partner to understand you, reassure you, and provide support. In addition, when you verbalize your feelings, they no longer seem so frightening. Make an effort to trust your partner. Tell them about your intentions and give them small tasks. Let them justify your trust. Then you will gradually move toward greater openness and frankness. Key point 6. Cultivate a secure attachment style to enjoy higher levels of satisfaction. The strongest and happiest relationships are those in which the secure type of attachment prevails. People with such bonds are each other's reliable partners and close friends. For them, it's okay to be vulnerable, openly discuss problems, and sincerely forgive wrongdoings. They give their partners chances to make things right and support each other in personal growth. A person who is in a secure relationship feels beautiful, loved, and strong. It's easy for such people to trust the world and achieve their goals. They're not afraid to make mistakes or fail because they know someone loves and accepts them unconditionally. Feeling that they have a safe place gives them the strength to overcome all external difficulties. Any couple ready to work hard on themselves can achieve a secure attachment. Here are a few basic rules of behavior that you should cultivate in yourself and make a habit of. Be open about your desires, fears, and resentments. Refrain from making your partner guess what you want and need. Remember that frankness is consistently more effective than hints. After settling a conflict and agreeing on a compromise, strictly control yourself to avoid criticizing and reminding your partner of past mistakes. Suppose you have decided to forgive your loved one for an offense. Do it sincerely and irrevocably. Don't take advantage of your partner's guilt. If you need more personal space, warn your partner. You'll minimize false interpretations by explaining to them your change in mood. Transparency and predictability of your actions allow your partner to feel safe. A favorable environment for growth and life can result from your joint work. This is a positive side effect. Being in a secure relationship, you have a positive experience which later becomes a pattern. This experience improves your outlook and develops your kindness, tolerance, deep love for the world, and empathy. The best thing is that you can pass on this skill of being a happy and loving person to your children. Contributing to the universal happiness increase begins with the courage to work on yourself. After all, our brain assigns our partner the task of being our secure base, the person we use as an emotional anchor and a safe haven, the one we turn to in time of need. Amir Levine. Conclusion. We inherit attachment patterns from our parents. Often, they are destructive and prevent us from building strong relationships and being happy. It's essential to remember that we don't have to carry a load that harms us. Our power is to transform it into positive, helpful communication and interaction skills. To do this, first, you need to take responsibility for your well-being and start working on yourself. It takes courage to evaluate your behavior in close relationships honestly. Once you have identified your attachment type, research the topic, discuss it with your partner, and reflect. The more knowledge you have, the more clearly you understand what you would like to change and what needs to be worked on to improve the quality of your relationship. Also, please be patient. Remember that changing habits of thought and behavior is challenging. Stay kind to yourself and your partner along the way. Be prepared that the problems will remain after the first serious conversation. It takes time, but you will be rewarded when you finally feel like you can fully open up and trust each other. Let yourself be motivated and warmed by the thought that you can create a favorable, safe space for your loved one and yourself. The positive experience gained this way will make your future life happier and brighter. Try this. Analyze your childhood and relationship with your parents or guardians. Reflect on how this has affected your perception of intimacy as an adult. Invite your partner to have a frank conversation about your attachment types. Discuss relationship issues that you would like to work on. Start changing for the better. Learn to be a loving, generous, and considerate partner.